Hello guys, today we're going to customize 2000 series Picoscope for automotive usage. In this video also I'm going to customize automotive Picoscope for a pressure transducers. This is going to be only done on 2000 series Picoscope, but that's going to apply on it's the same thing is going to apply on automotive Picoscope as well. So I already done this, everything is done already, but I'm going to walk you through the process, and you're just going to plug the numbers in and you're going to be done. So on a automotive Picoscope, that scope uses a Pico pressure transducers. I think it's like WP something, and it's very expensive, but we can use aftermarket pressure transducers with a 5-volt regulator, something like this. This formula is going to also work on a snap-on pressure transducers, 100 psi and 500 psi. So that pressure transducer setup is going to apply on the automotive Picoscope as well. Then we're going to, as I said, we're going to work on the 2000 series Picoscope, but the procedure is going to be the same. Now on the 2000 series Picoscope, we're going to put some more stuff in it because it's not customized for automotive testing. So something about this scope, this is the 2000 series, the newer one. They call like a pocket size scope. I've done a couple of videos with this one. This one difference is that this one has a 20-volt maximum input. So every time you measure anything over 20 volts, you have to use an attenuator. So we're going to also customize this for attenuator as well. Something else also, this is not as good as automotive Picoscope. I just got some info from one of my viewers. This one has he explained to me this is an 8-bit scope versus automotive Picoscope is a 12-bit scope, which is vertical resolution. It's a lot better, but this scope is $150 versus a couple $1,000 for automotive Picoscope, and but you're still going to be able to do a lot of stuff with this scope as well. So we can do insular pressure transducers. I think when it comes to that vertical resolution, probably it's going to be most visible on a secondary ignition waveforms. I'm not sure how well we can pick up the waveform on the. I've done some with the 2000 series Picoscope. It works okay, but in the next video we're gonna do some comparison between those two scopes and see what we can or we can't do with this 2000 series scope. Okay, so to download your file, all you gotta do is just go to a Picoscope website. You can go to just type in like a Picoscope and you'll see there's a picotech.com. You're gonna click on that, and then you're gonna have option to download your files right there, and then you go to your scope 2204A, and then what I uploaded is this one. This file here, there was actually November 20, this one here. This is the latest one, November to 2017. So I uploaded this version of the of software, and it works fine with my 2000 series scope. Okay, so let's go here. So now this is the scope is hooked up. And so what we're going to do now, this first one is going to be on our pressure transducers, so this would apply on our automotive Picoscope as well. That's not going to be any difference. So on a 2000 series scope, so what you're going to do, you're going to go here, go to channel A, you press on that, and then you're going to go to your probes, and what you're going to have here, and these are the probes that's already on it, preloaded when you upload your software. So we can see there's a WPS 600. That is the pressure transducer for Picoscope, and it's like $1,000. So it's too expensive for us. Now the nice thing about this software, already we have a low amp clamp uploaded, so we don't have to customize that. So a 20 and 40 amp clamp, that's all it's going to work. So if you're going to just whatever you're going to choose, is it a 20 amp or 40, and this says 60, but you can on your scope's going to set 40, so this is what you're going to use. So that will be like this first setup on 20 amp will be on your amp clamp. That would be 100 there will be 100 millivolt equal 1 amp, and the 60 amp mode would be 10 milliamp equal 1 amp. So this is what you're going to use on your low amp clamp. So okay, and then so let's go ahead and customize our scope. So again, we're going to go here, and then we're going to open this window here, and in this window we'll actually it's going to give us an option to customize new probes. Okay, so we're going to click on that, and it's going to open this window here. Now, as I said, this is all that I uploaded, that I've done it already, all of these new probes. So we're just going to go to a little bit different. I'm just going to click on that, and they will walk you through setup. So what you're going to need to do, you'll just go to new probe. Okay, so you'll go to new probe, and from here it's going to be the same window. So just go to next, and we're going to go to our setup. So instead of that, I'm just going to go to, let's go to a 20-to-1 attenuator. This is the one that I have, and this is mostly what you're going to find. Picoscope also has 10-to-1, but I have never found that anywhere. So 20-to-1 is like a Huntec, works just fine. I had one that didn't work very well, but this is like on eBay and Amazon. That's what you're going to find, 20-to-1 attenuator. So again, now I'm just going to click here, but you will go to new probe. Okay, so I'm going to go here, I'm going to go edit. I'm just going to open this window so you guys, you know what to do next. So this is going to be for 20-to-1 attenuator. This is going. So what you're going to do now, just plug these numbers and you'll be done. Okay, so now it's at the same window here. So go next. You're going to leave here 2 volts. You're going to go to next, and here in this formula we're going to put 20.0. Okay, so 20.0, that's what you're going to put in here, and I click next again. We can go to advanced. That's better because you can kind of customize it better. So we can go to advanced and then click next. In here we're going to set our range. So I can have like 100 volt, 200 volt, 300 volt, 400 volt range. So to do that, you just go click new range, okay, and it's going to open this window. And here you're gonna customize your voltage, your range, okay. So now I'm just going to click to 100 volt, and I'm going to click edit. So this is what I've done here. So all you got to do is just going to change your settings here, okay. So so got minus 50 volts to up to 100 volt. So that is my first one, and then go 200, 300, 400. So that's pretty easy. I mean, it's very self-explanatory, nothing to it. Just go to each, and these numbers you can do whatever you want to do. You can do 100 to 150, 250. It doesn't really matter. I just did from 100 to 400. It's better sometimes when you do some measurements. You can actually do this instead of computer that does it automatically for you. I kind of like it to set my own scales that I can do it, you know, when I can choose what I want to choose when I do my voltage measurement. So once you finish that, just go click next, click next, and now I ask you custom probe identification, or just put 20-to-1 attenuator, and you're done. Click finish, and now you have your attenuator uploaded to your scope. Okay. Next one will be pressure transducers. I got 100, 300, and 500 pressure transducer. So before I actually done a video how to customize this, but I did not know how to. I used a lookup table, but I didn't know how to how to figure out the negative pressure that these pressure transducers can measure. So I actually found a video on YouTube that's done by Dmitry Luchenko. He actually was nice to upload a video and made a formula, and so this is now easy. We can actually pretty much I just follow his formula. He made it for 100 psi transducer, and then I just plug these different numbers, so I was able to figure out the numbers for 100, 300, 500 psi transducer. So this is what I mostly use anyway. So now again, go to pressure transducer. You're going to go to next probe. I'm just going to click on this one, and now you're going to open this window next, and then here you will have to, because there are no options for pressure, so you're going to click on this window here, and you type in pressure and a PSI. That's what you're going to measure, and go to next. On the next window, For 100 psi pressure transducer, you're gonna type in here 25 and here the offset minus 12.5. Okay, so just type these numbers, you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna go next. In this one, I actually went to advanced because I can change. I can go like 20 psi, 40, 60, 80, 100 psi. Now this is the same as we did on a attenuator, no difference at all. So just click new range if you want to open another. So I cannot go to 100 because so this is what you just set your scales here and you're done. Because it's actually nicer because when you do your measurements, you know, sometimes you want to go up to 60 psi or 80, but the computer's going to mess you up and you're not going to have your reading right. It's going to be okay, but this way you can actually customize it better, that your waveform looks better. So on the 100 psi, you've seen, guys, I just did a 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 psi. It's just this is your preference. You don't, you know, whatever you want to do. So click next again. And we're going to 100 psi pressure transducer, click finish, and you're done with that one. Okay. The next one, we'll go to a 300 pressure transducer. Go to next. Again, you're going to do pressure and a psi. Next again. On this one, we're going to, in a gradient, we're going to put 75, and the offset is going to be minus 37.5. Okay. So just type those numbers in. You're going to be okay for 300 psi. Advanced, I'm sorry, I did 100, 200, and 300 psi range, and that's it. So let's just go. Let's see. I'll show you how to. Let's see. Let's just go. I'm just gonna delete all this. I can show you what. Okay, so just this is what you're gonna do. New range. Okay, so I don't want this. I can go like a 50 psi, and go 100 psi, so that's okay. New range, 50 psi to a 200 psi. Okay. New range. Again, you can do whatever you want to do here. It's up to you guys. Whatever you want to customize your. That's a 300. Okay. So now I can choose up to 300 psi, 200 psi, or 300 psi. On my scale. So click next, you're done. Next again, 300 psi, 300 psi pressure transducer, and you click finish. You're done with that one. The next will be 500 psi. Again, pretty much the same setup. Go to pressure, psi. Next one. Now this one we're going to type in 125 on gradient and minus 62.5 on offset. Okay. And go next, advance again, and I did 100, 200, 3, 4, and 500 psi. This is my setup here. I'm done with that. Click next, next again, 500 psi pressure transducer, and click finish. So when you do this, you can just pause the video and just, you know, do that way. So so we got attenuator, we got all the pressure transducers here. Now, as I said, this part applies for a automotive picoscope. For you guys who don't have this this WPS 500 picoscope, transducer, this is what you need to do to get your setup. So okay, so the next one is going to be a high amp clamp, 600 amp clamp that's not in this 2000 series scope. And so what I do here, just amperage here, just gives you the option, you know, open, so they're going to measure amperage, and go next. And this time we're going to use a lookup table. And here, what all I did, this is like 1 millivolt is 1 amp. So so you're going to change. You make sure you're going to change to millivolts here, okay? So you're going to set up to millivolts. So minus 600 it's minus 600 amps, and 600 millivolts is equal to 600 amps. So that's all you need to do. The reason I got this negative number is because sometimes you're going to invert your amp clamp, and if you don't do this, you will not have any reading on your screen. You'll be zero. It's not going to read any negative numbers. So this is what you need to do to customize this one. And then you press OK. And go next, and you're just going to do automatic. You don't have to do any advance here. And next, and then a 600 amp current clamp, and you click finish. And now we have a 600 amp current clamp, and now also we're going to do a coil and plug ignition probe and coil and plug ignition probe inverted. And this is also going to, this is kind of confused on the automotive picoscope, and you have like option for like a secondary ignition probe and coil and plug ignition probe, which is basically tells you if you have like that pedal that you put on the coil and plug probe, but the formula is the same. That would be just, you really don't need it. So whether you're using a your clamp, like inductive clamp you put on the spark plug wire, or you would use a pedal, some sort of pedal, some inductive probe that you put in on top of your coil and plug, it's gonna, the formula is going to be the same. So there's no really need to do two formulas there at all. So let's go to a coil and plug ignition probe. I go next. It's going to be the volts. Go next, and here you're going to type in 10,000 in your gradient. Just type in 10,000. Offset is going to be 0. And I go to advance, and here I went to 5 kV, 10 kV, 20, 50, 100, and 200 kV. 200 you don't need it, but I just put it in just because I don't know. So that's, again, this is all the same as you guys seen on the pressure transducer. Just click what you want and set up your scale here, and click next and next, and then type in coil and plug ignition probe, and I'm done. Now the next one is a very important one. This is a coil and plug ignition probe inverted, and many times if you have a negative or positive firing on your like a wave spark system, your waveform is going to be upside down, and then it's very stressful to invert it. You got to go to the math channel, do all that math. So what you need to do here, you're going to do all the same. I'm sorry, but instead of going 10,000, all you got to do, let's put a minus in front of it. So it's going to be minus 10,000. You're going to go next, go to advance again, set up all the scale the same. I did a and then click next again, and you're done. Now this one, coil and plug ignition probe inverted, and this will invert your waveform, so you don't have to worry about that. So if you see your waveform is upside down, you just click here, and it will flip it for you, so you don't have to worry about it. And the other one is actually just inverted probe, and this is pretty much in case, sometimes actually I like to use this when I'm doing secondary ignition waveforms, and if I'm having a hard time to get the good waveform with this coil and plug ignition, with this formula, I just go to a regular channel, and so you're just comparing your waveforms from one cylinder to another. And here, and also this is important when you doing your measurements, like on your M clamp, when it's upside down, you can actually just invert. This will invert your waveform as well. But in this case, you will not have your amperage reading. You're going to have the voltage reading. Okay, just to be, or you can invert your M clamp. So all you got to do in this formula, just go through your setup again, click next, volts again, next. All you got to do is press -1. That's it, and then you offset is 0, and you just do automatic. You don't have to do the advance here. And click next and next, inverted probe, finish. You're done. So this is all you got to do to customize your 2000 series picoscope, and this should be pretty much all you need for. And then in the next video we will do some comparison between these two scopes and see what kind of waveforms you can get. And I'm still learning about the picoscope myself, so sometimes it is very stressful, especially on secondary ignition waveforms, to get good waveforms. It's just with new coil and plugs, and it's just not as easy as it used to be. So, but that's all you got to do, guys. Again, remember, this is the same. This is a pressure transducer we'll apply on automotive picoscope as well. This will be the same. So this is very important. Plug these numbers in, and get your 5-volt regulator, get your pressure transducers, and you're good to go. Okay, before I finish, something very important that can confuse you. One thing, once you're done, then you go to your channel, you choose your probe, and then can open up your menu, but you don't see your probes here. This is all what's already preloaded on the software. And go to your library. Right here you're gonna have this plus sign, okay, because your custom probes are actually in your library, and until you open that you will not see them. So just go there, click plus, and then you're gonna see all your custom probes that we already made it for you guys. Okay, so this is just a quick note. It can be very confusing. You can lose your custom probes because it's gonna be hidden under your library settings, so menu. So just click here, open up your library, you're gonna find your custom probes. Okay, thank you guys so much, and see you next time. Bye bye.